need to slow down. I get so tired of going full speed all the time. Maybe I can spend an hour here or there really moving slow, not watching the time to move on to the next thing. But today, we're slowing down. It might only be one day, but one day is enough. So I invite you to slow down too. First things first, let's put away the phone. I know, you need it, me too, but maybe let's at least put it on Do Not Disturb. I do not have great self-control with my phone, and I'm guessing that you do not either. But I notice that when I'm barely on it, I feel so much better, I feel so much more restful, which, newsflash, doom scrolling is not actually restful for you. In case you haven't noticed. The more that you are on Instagram, you're just feeding into your brain, you're overstimulating yourself. You're not actually seeking rest, even though it feels good maybe to shut your brain off for a little bit. So we're going to be putting this on Do Not Disturb to hopefully keep me from going on my Instagram. Sabbath in the Bible is a day that God set aside for his people to stop working and rest. It means trusting in God to keep the world turning while I rest in his ability to do so. It also means focusing on who he is and spending time with him because he is the true source of rest. Now today isn't the day that I usually practice Sabbath, but the principles of finding rest in God is what I want to focus on. Resting doesn't just look like having nothing to do or spending hours on your phone or watching TV. It actually looks like being intentional with your time, starting by spending time with God. When I need rest and slowness, I know I need Jesus. Matthew 11:28 says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light." This is one of my favorite verses, and I have always found it to be true. Life as a Christian is not always easy, but God promises to give me rest when I come to him. So when you're feeling exhausted and drained, pull out the Bible and read for a little bit. Talk to God about your life, what's bothering you, what you need help with, what you're thankful for, and then go do the other things that bring you joy with a heart rested in Jesus. This is where things get a little bit more individual. We have the rest of the day to do whatever we want, so we're going to do the things that bring us joy. Now, something that I might love doing and energizes me, you might hate, so take this part with a grain of salt unless you love everything that I love. But the first thing we're going to do is pick up. I actually love organizing. I know that's not what makes most people feel rested and joyful, but for me, having a clean space before I do anything else just really sets the tone for the rest of my day. So we're going to start this by making the bed. Okay, now that that's done, time for the really fun stuff. I could do this all day. I won't, but I could. You don't have to watch me read for hours, but know that I did. I am a pretty fast reader, but it slows me down because you can only focus on what you're reading. You can't do anything else. I think that is one of the keys to really going slow. Stop trying to multitask because it's actually impossible and just do one thing at a time, whatever it is. Okay, enough of watching me read. Now let's go outside. Yes, I am going running. You might be thinking, Natalie, that's literally the opposite of going slow. Physically, yes. Mentally, no. Running just makes me feel better. Maybe not in terms of how I feel while I'm running, but the aftermath. Doing something physically challenging is restful to me on a different level, and honestly, it's the first thing to go when I let myself get too busy. Someone tell me that I said that on every other day of the week when I'm tired and I don't want to work out, but really it's true. Endorphins are like magic for your joy and quality of sleep, and the same is said for sunlight. I am so glad that it's finally warm enough here to do this outside because let me tell you, you don't realize how much you need the sun until you don't have it all winter. think something I miss the most when I get busy is just how great it feels to be at home in the evening. I'm all for spending time with people, but the older I've gotten, the more I realize that I need some quality alone time and family time with just my closest people. Also, cooking at home is a different kind of cozy and slowness. It's called fast food for a reason, and this is definitely slow food. One of the last things I like to do when I'm trying to slow down is to work on a creative project. Creative projects aren't something you can rush, believe me. I have tried, and every time the results are subpar. So usually on nights that we don't have anything going on, Harrison and I, if we're not doing something together, we'll work on our own little projects. So tonight I'm going to be working on this sweater that I'm crocheting. I am getting there. Crocheting is a slow process. I still have a ways to go. So I'll be working on that, and Harrison is actually going to be studying for a little bit, and I'm just going to bring this downstairs. My sister has a basketball game, so I'm going to watch that and work on my crochet project. If you want to slow down to the point of frustration, pick up crocheting. You think you're going to go so fast, and then it's been an hour and a half and you've only finished one square. All jokes aside, now that I'm used to it, I kind of love the pace of crocheting. It's a very calming hobby while also productive because you are literally making something from a ball of yarn. I usually pick it up when I'm watching something on TV or hanging out with friends. You do have to pay attention to what you're doing because there's a lot of counting involved, but you get the hang of it after a while. So the final step to slowing down, pretty obvious, is getting a good night of sleep. So I'm going to read a little bit before I go to bed and actually lay on my prana mat, which I've never done acupuncture before, but this thing is amazing. You can literally feel the tension leaving your body. So we're just gonna put this here. I'm gonna pick up the book Thief and read for a little bit before falling asleep. Thank you guys so much for coming with me today. Slowing down is hard, but it is very necessary to be able to do anything else the rest of the week. I find I'm way more productive when I've taken time to actually rest and reset than trying to cram everything in all the time I possibly have. I hope you guys find time to rest this week, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for slowing down with me today. I pray that you are able to find true rest in the Lord and that you prioritize this. You weren't meant to be running at full speed all the time, and it's okay to take some time to rest. Now on to the book Thief for me and for you. I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends.